Hi everyone, it's Stephanie here, and happy 2017 to all of you. For tonight's video, I wanted to share a card, obviously for New Year's since it is New Year's Eve, and I am taking part in the Seasons Givings blog hop. So I wanted to use some fun products that I picked up specifically to make a New Year's card. I have the Kaiser Craft Glisten Paper Pad. This is a beautiful pad that can be used either for Christmas or New Year's, and I really wanted to use some of the pattern paper from this pad. I also have this great new Hero Arts Happy New Year stamp set. I love New Year's stamp sets, and they actually are not as popular as you would think. They're kind of hard to find. So when they came out with this one this year, I was really excited because I love the different elements in the stamp set. Now, whenever I think of New Year's, I think of New York, not because I've ever been there, because I haven't, but I always usually am at home and I'm watching the New Year's Eve festivities in New York, so I wanted to incorporate New York somehow onto this card. So I'm going to kind of combine all of these elements and create a fun window card. So I'm not going to have a shaker or anything, it's just going to simply be a window, but I thought it would be fun to be able to see through to the inside of the card. So I went ahead and cut out a rectangle window from the front of my card base using a My Favorite Things die, and you just want to make sure that you open the card base when you do die cut the rectangle so you don't cut all the way through the card. And then I also cut out a piece of acetate from this We Are Memory Keeper 6x6 acetate pad. I love this. It has some really fun designs, and it incorporates silver, gold, and black different designs in the pad. So I decided to go ahead and use the silver polka dot pattern. So I trimmed it down just slightly smaller than the rectangle that I had cut out, and now I'm just going to adhere it to the inside of the card using my tape runner. I did leave enough of the acetate so that I can fully cover that tape runner on the inside, and then when we close this card up, we're going to have this really fun window that shows through to the inside, but has this great foiled silver polka dot look to it. So I just think it adds a really fun look to the card design. Now for the inside of the card, I want to add some fireworks. I thought it would be neat to kind of make it look sort of like a window to the outside sky, showing the fireworks going off. And I wanted to incorporate a little bit of gold into the card. I really like the look of silver and gold combined together. And I do tend to use a lot of silver more than gold, so I really wanted to incorporate gold somehow onto this, so I decided to do that with the fireworks. So I picked out a very simple pattern paper from the pattern paper pad. This almost reminds me kind of like a snowy scene sky, and since New Year's is in January, I thought it fit perfectly. So I'm going to go ahead and take the fireworks stamp from the stamp set, and I'm using Versamark ink, and I'm stamping this directly onto that background piece. Now this piece is cut just slightly larger than the window on the card front, so that when the card is closed, you completely see just this area on the inside of the card. So once I had that stamp there, I used my WOW Gold Glitter Embossing Powder, and I covered all three of those fireworks, and I'm just going to go ahead and heat them up with my heat tool, and this is going to set that embossing powder and give us some really great gold fireworks going off in the sky. So I just love the look of this once we have it done here. Now I'm adding adhesive all over this entire piece just because the heat embossing did warp it a tiny bit, and I want it to lay completely flat on the inside of the card. So I flipped my card upside down so I could figure out exactly where I needed to position this so it covered the window. And then I just folded the back onto that adhesive piece and pushed down, and then that adhered it perfectly on the inside of the card and is lined up perfectly so that it shows through the window and you don't see any of the white border on the inside. I die cut the New York skyline from both black cardstock and silver sparkle cardstock, and then I just adhered them together and kind of overlapped the two pieces so that you could see the silver kind of peeking out from behind the black. And then I put tape runner on the back of the entire piece and adhered it to the front of the card. I lined it right up against the bottom there, and then I'm just going to use my scissors and trim off the excess on either side. And I really love the look of this when the card is closed. You kind of see the buildings against this great window with these silver polka dots, and then you have the fireworks going off in the background. So I think it just really adds to that New York feel, the New Year's Eve fun festive feel. So I really like how this turned out. Now to do the sentiment, I have this great open area on the bottom of the New York skyline that I left there, and I'm going to use the Happy and the 2017. I like this stamp set because you can change the last number in the year, so it can be used for a couple of years before it's not going to work anymore. So it's just more versatile and able to be used in numerous years versus just one. So I added the 7 and then stamped the Happy 2017, and then I used the same metallic gold embossing powder that I used on the inside of the card to do the embossing on my sentiment. And that is going to complete this silver and gold New York City themed New Year's Eve card. So thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you all being here, and I will see you in the next video.